Let's start talking about your target audience. When somebody tells you, define your target audience, you probably think that you have to create a buyer persona. You know, a detailed profile that describes a particular person, where you even find a stock photo online, give them a name to imagine them better, and whose fictional life you describe in great detail. Like how old they are, what they do, what car they drive, how they spend their spare time, and so on and so forth, which may seem like a fun exercise, but is actually not that useful and can be even harmful when it comes to understanding your ideal client. Let's take this example. As you can see, you now know a hell a lot about Catherine. But the question is, are you sure all this information is equally important? Because if it's not, you have a problem. You've just introduced bias in your marketing. From now on, you'll write your website copy to appeal to young stay-at-home moms married with a small baby and who post on Instagram, which will significantly reduce the chance of single guys over 40 who prefer Facebook hiring you. I'm not sure that's what you want. But with this approach, the way the information is laid out on the same level, it's impossible to tell what's important and what's there just to make the story round. And this approach has even a bigger problem. Usually, it does not provide enough insights into why your ideal client would hire you, which is the goal of identifying your target audience. So, instead of creating a buyer persona, you should rather try and answer a set of targeted questions that help you uncover the factors that influence your prospects' buying decisions, starting with the characteristics that matter of a company, if you work with companies, and in any case of a person who'll be looking at your website. But what does it mean, a characteristic that matters? It means two things. For once, that your offer is better suited for companies or people like that, and they'll be more likely to hire you. But it can also mean your personal preference when you consciously decide not to work with particular businesses or people for whatever reasons you feel are valid, even if your services would fit them perfectly. We'll look at such deal breaker examples in the next lecture. One and the same characteristic can be important for one business and unimportant for another. Only you can say what matters in your case. If you can't decide whether a certain characteristic is important, you can use this rule of thumb. It's important if it influences either what you're going to say about your offer or how you're going to say it, meaning it influences either the messaging strategy or the language. But defining those characteristics is just the beginning of defining your audience. Other things that influence your prospects' buying decisions are how much they know about the problems you help solve and solutions you offer, what they expect from you, what criteria they use to decide whom to hire, as well as the reservations and objections that may prevent them from hiring you.